You have a particular film on your planet that you know as the Matrix. And in the Matrix, there is one particular line that answers that question definitively.
Which one's that?
It goes, even though the question is about levitation, to also the idea of making material objects seem to be manipulated by your mind. Spoon bending. And in that movie, the answer is clear. The only way you can do it is to understand there is no spoon. That it's just a projection of your consciousness. So the idea of an object being located on the ground, and then the idea of that object being located above the ground, is just a matter of understanding there is no object. And therefore the idea of whether it's here, or there, or here, or there, or disappears from there and reappears there, or floats above the ground, is all about understanding that you are creating the concept of physical space and time. And that it's all about resonance, and that there's a different resonance here than there is here. So when you begin to understand that you're just changing the frequency of something to exist in a different frame of reference within a projection of consciousness that you're creating anyway, that isn't real unto itself, then levitation will be something that's normal and natural. Because you're just redefining its location in space and time.
Oh, receive your comments on that. Oh, for entertainment. Wow, how thick is the ice at wreck by cars? But this one, allegedly is a wreck that has been turned to ice. Wow. This guy is digging. Isn't this risky? Standing on that. Whoa, no. English people. I'm very surprised by the things they are saying here. Look at this. This guy is standing on a rake, but the rake has been turned to stone. Wow, God. Ooh. And he's digging. He's not fearing. Hey. Wow, this one, if it happened from this side of the world, people could think it's a curse from God. People could have even tried fasting. Look at this. What about the fish? How are the fish doing? Wow. Everything in English land is advanced, from the weather to technology, even animals. Because the fish there, I don't think our fish can survive there. Hey, look at this. You take a fish from this side of the world and take it on a lake there, and this thing will faint. And they faint. Can fish faint? I'm not sure, but it will be surprised. Look at this. Wow. He has not reached to the water yet. I think it's the time to go to the child of God. Wow. Look at this. It's like he reached for the water. It's time to live. Child of God, you should live. Wow. What if the sun comes when he's standing there? Hey. Crazy stuff those ones.
Y no sé cómo vamos a hacer para pasar, tenemos que mandarnos eso. Tenemos que ponernos al costado.
You see a car carrying a boat.
Ponete en la banquina, no pasa, ponete en la banquina.
This looks like oh my God, look at this.
Te está diciendo que le
Is this car carrying a boat, or is this a house? It's a house. Oh, it's a house. Wow, this guy is carrying a house. Whose house is this? Is this how you relocate in English dance? Someone decided to move their house to another place. This one is crazy. Why am I seeing my own things here? Wow, it's incredible. What? That car itself, how is it possible to do that?
Well, I'm not going to let him to push my boot. Hey.
This guy decided to prank this animal.
Hey.
Just share.
Alright, what do we do? What do we do?
Eventually they shared the animal. It's good vibes.
That's nuts. It totally just opposes gravity.
Which technology is this?
It's as hard as I can do it.
Our guy here has alien
This
technology.
odd shape is perfect
this-
for dropping on top of it.
It's like he's using magnets. Hmm. Could this be the technology that they use in those
Who knew metal could be so fun?
this
What if-
alien stuff
what
we
if I spin
see?
it?
The UFOs. Ah!
Yeah, that's cool.
Hey, you must be having some extremely strong magnets. Wow!
Dude! This is one of the most powerful permanent magnets in the world, and something weird happens when you put aluminum next to it.
It sticks or what? What? It doesn't.
It just stops
Ooh.
the motion. Normally you need a giant liquid-cooled electromagnet to show this,
Ah, this is
but ours
interesting.
is powerful enough to do it.
Okay, that's a good vibe, see, man. They are trying incredible stuff.
Is anything impossible?
Would you like to know what that one thing is?
Absolutely.
It is impossible to imagine non-existence.
Wow.
Why? Because by definition, non-existence doesn't exist.
Please explain.
Therefore, it's impossible to imagine. Now, nothing else is impossible, but the question really isn't, is this possible or is this impossible? The question really that ought to be asked in any given situation, based on anything that you may desire, is it probable? Is it relevant to my life? Because nothing is impossible, but many, many, many things are not necessarily relevant or probable based on the life path you may have chosen. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
In other words, it's not impossible that you could suddenly transform into a being that is 12 feet tall, that is blue, and has 6 arms. It's not impossible,
try that
but
out.
it may not be relevant to your life path.
I think all of you will agree this is the wildest exit off of a mountain by a helicopter pilot I've ever seen.
Oh, look at that one. Ah, good way to get to work. That one is incredible. Nice one. Watching humans do incredible things. Wow. Look at this. We are about to see something strange. I also don't know what. Let's see what you're expecting. This is about to happen in the sky. Are you seeing anything? Yeah, they have started. Something is passing. Ah, something is passing. Something is passing. What are those? Are those planes? Ah, looks like the sky just changed. Ah, this is not real. Is that one thing or many things? Ah, yeah. I'm confused now. I think this could be a stuff or movie stuff. Look at this. Is it one object, many objects, or that one? How the difficulties understanding? Please help me, my friend. Shocking new footage shows how those guys that stole jewelry escaped on the radar. Look at this. They did it in no hurry. Wow. This one is crazy. Wow. Oh my god. Guys, those guys. Good vibes, so honestly, be good vibes, people, and don't love other people's things. Look at this. There's something on the globes. Where did the something just go? Ah, no, that one, I think I doubt my eyes.
Y'all, so the Fae think that they're slick. Look at this.
That
They
could
built
be a
their
fairy
ring
trap.
through the sidewalk, so you have no choice but to walk through it. But they're not getting me. I'm not walking
Believe in
through
those
it.
things.
Having money in America and having money in Africa is two different type of I got money. People in Africa, they really got money, okay? They really got money. You could own a car here, you could own a house here, you could own every technical device, an iPhone, a MacBook, you could own all that shit. But where's the receipt proving that you actually own that shit? And I mean like you paid for it cash. Majority of the things here in the US, cars, houses, big shit, like expensive ass shit, don't nobody really own that shit. Everybody's making payments on that. In Africa, they own that. They pay for it cash. There's no such thing as a down payment for this. There's no such thing as monthly payments for that. Everything is owned. Like they own that shit, okay? They paid for it cash. It's a different type of, I got money over there. You see somebody with a big ass house, just know they bought that land, they built that house brick by brick, cash money, bitch. Like cash. Cash, okay? You see somebody with an iPhone, they not making payments on that iPhone. They own that shit. They went and bought it cash. You see somebody with a 2025, they own that shit. They paid for that cash. They don't have none of that. Like what we got over here, mortgage payment, they don't have
These
that.
people, you don't own your
Everything is
things.
paid for
I,
cash. That's
I
how money
don't
is there,
understand.
bitch. They got money over there. You cannot go over there and try to flex that like you know you got that US money, bitch. They got it over there. They got it. You see somebody with a big ass house, you go to their house, just know they own that. They not making no mortgage payments, but you try to explain that to them, they gonna be like, ugh. Oh, you poor. Some of y'all might be like, well, it's Africa. Things are not even that expensive. It's equivalent to what we pay here. There are literally lands and houses that cost $500,000, $1 million. They got $1 million homes that people paid cash for. Like,
This one sounds
bro,
like
when
they
you,
know
oh
what they are
my
saying.
God, like it's crazy to even think about this.
Would
But
be a
listen,
politicians
you see
daughter
somebody
from
over
this side
there,
of
they
the
got
world.
their house, they got their car. Like you need to be like, wow, because they own that. They own that. Like they not making payments on it. They own it. Like they own it. It's theirs. It's a different type of I got money over there for real. They got money. They got money, okay? It don't matter how small the house is. If they own the land and they got a house on that land, they got more money than you because they own that shit. They pay for that cash money and built that brick by brick. They got more money than us, bitch, for real.
It's not about the ballroom. He's secretly building a state-of-the-art bunker where the old one is. He's planning on staying in power for the rest of his life. That's why he didn't go through the proper channels. He's trying to create an emergency before the midterms so there will be no voting, and he and his regime will stay in power. And where are those people who fought to keep statues up to preserve history?
AI half a century ago. Listen to this.
What is this other threat?
This is EBEG. Allegedly.
This artificial superintelligence is a computer. I swear, if you say I don't have the capacity
exactly who is going to be paying for President Trump's brand new
Yeah, I
$300
don't
million
know.
ballroom. The White House released this list of names today. Now, there are two pretty big names that are missing from this list, which I'm going to talk about in a second. But I want to first talk about the people that are on the list, because when you look at it, you're looking at a bunch of, rich U.S. companies and big billionaires and millionaires, and you're thinking probably, who cares? At least we, the taxpayers, aren't on the hook for this $300 million project. Well, that would be one way to look at this list, but there's another way to look at this list. And before I share that with you, I want to explain why generally public projects are not fully funded by private donations. Now, I'm not saying it never happens, but it's kind of rare, and there's a reason why it's rare. The US government, your state government, heck, even your local government uses public taxpayer money to fund projects so that the ownership of that project, whether it's a federal highway or a public building like your city hall or even like a public library, belongs to the people. It serves the public need and follows a transparent process, and you, the public, get a say in how that public facility is constructed and operated with your money. Now, that doesn't happen with private business. And there's one more pretty big reason for not using private money to fund public projects, and that is to avoid even the appearance, the waft of quid pro quo, meaning buying favors or buying special treatment. Now, I'm not saying that any of that is happening with this new Trump White House ballroom or with any of these specific donors. Time, of course, will tell what happens and what they are or are not getting out of their donation. So now that you know why public projects aren't usually funded by private donations, let's look at that list one more time. Again, here's the list I showed you at the beginning of this video, but now let's put the list into categories. Categories like tech and media, crypto, big business, and known large donors to the Republican Party, GOP super PACs, and Donald Trump's campaign. Now, almost all of these companies and people have some kind of business with the US government or want some kind of business with the US government. Most of those tech CEOs were basically in the front row of Trump's inauguration. They are all now heavily involved in other government projects like the president's AI initiative, but they also want to make sure the federal government doesn't come down too harshly on the tech industry. Now, that's not an opinion. That is based on their own sworn testimony in front of Congress. As for the crypto section here, President Trump has said that he wants to be a crypto president, and the crypto industry sure wants to keep it that way, especially since presidents in the past have been very skeptical of the crypto industry. Now, let's talk about this section, the business section. We're talking about major sectors of our economy here, which, of course, the U.S. government regulates, like defense, oil, construction, energy, tobacco. They are all donating to this ballroom. And for the record, most of the businesses listed on this donor list also happen to be big government contractors. Contracts that they, of course, want to keep. Then, of course, there are the sort of big, wealthy donors that are known donors to the Republican Party or to President Trump's campaign. Now, some of these people happen to also be ambassadors who were appointed under President Donald Trump. You'll see on this list the Lutnick family. That means Howard Lutnick, our Commerce Secretary, who also happens to be privately a billionaire and CEO of the major financial services company, Cantor Fitzgerald. And then you'll see Kelly Loeffler and her husband on this list. Kelly Loeffler, of course, is the administrator of President Trump's Small Business Administration, and her husband just so happens to be the CEO of the parent company of the New York Stock Exchange. One more name I want to call your attention to on this list is the one at the very top, Stefan E. Brody. He is a biotech entrepreneur who also just so happens to have been convicted of a federal crime for conspiring to do business with Cuba, going around U.S. sanctions, which is a federal crime. Now, Mr. Brody attempted to get a pardon under President Biden, but President Biden never granted him that pardon. Now, I'm switching back to the original list of donors because the White House did not disclose how much money each of these people are donating to the ballroom. And there's two names that are missing from this list. I mean, it jumps out to me that they are not on this list. Number one is Elon Musk, President Trump's close ally, the richest man in the world. He is not on this list. He is not donating to Trump's ballroom. And speaking of Trump, number two name missing from this list is Donald J. Trump, even though the president has said repeatedly that he is the one funding this ballroom along with all these donors. So if you want to see this list up close for